Okay, in this video we're going to see how to determine the percentage of a quantity and the percentage change of a quantity. So we're going to talk about two different things. So we're going to show this by examples. So the first example, a patient drank 25% of his cup, and his cup contained 240 milliliters of tea. How many milliliters did he drink? So we would say that his original cup had 240 milliliters. So let's do it this way. We would say 100% is 240 milliliters. And we want to know what 25% is in how many milliliters. So we would set it up this way. And we can just say this is 100 over 240 is 25 over x, and then cross multiply. Actually, let's simplify this a bit. Those zeros can cancel. These both divide by 2. So we'll have 5 over 12 is equal to 25 over x. And we're going to cross multiply 5x and 25 times 12. 25 times 12 is actually, let's not worry about that yet. I'm going to show you. So we could multiply this, but I just noticed we're going to divide it by 12 or by 5. So if we did that, take a look at what happens. 5 goes into 25 5 times, and we really only need to do 5 times 12, which is 60. You could do it longer, but then dividing by 5 is probably not as easy. So this is the milliliters. So 25% of 240. You can also think of this, if this is 100%, we want 25%, that's divided by 4. 240 divided by 4 is 60. Okay, the second example. How many milliliters are left if there is 10% left in a bottle that originally contained 750 mils? So the 100% is 750 mils. And we want to know what 10% would be. So the same type of question, 100 divided by 750 is equal to 10 divided by x. And again, let's simplify this first. Divide by 5. So 2 over 75 divided by 5 would be 15. And now we want to cross multiply. So we're going to multiply the x with the 2 and the 15 with the 10. Let's do this the same as we did last time. Before I multiply this, if we divide both sides by 2, look at x is, and the 2 goes into 10 5 times, so 15 times 5. 15 times 5 is 15 times, or 5 times 10 is 50, plus 5 times 5 is 25, is 75. And if you look at the question, again, that would make sense. If there's 750 mils and we want 10% of it, then that's 75 mils. So you could also just do it that way. But I want to show you how to set up these equations. Okay, so our next example, 25 is what percent of 40? So what's the 100%? 100% is the 40. And we want to know what percent is 25. So 100 divided by 40 is x divided by 25. These both divide by 2, so 5 over 2 is equal to x over 25. Cross multiply, 5 times 25 divided by 2. 5 times 25 is 125, divided by 2 is 62.5. 2 into 12 is 6. Bring down the 5. 2 into 5 is 2. And 0, 2 into 10 is 5. And there's no remainder, so we don't need to keep going. So 62.5%. Okay, so this is called a percent equation. It's a proportion, but it contains a percent. So next is percent of change, so how much something changed by. So to find the percent of change, we're going to set up the fraction with the amount of change over the old amount before it changed. Then we multiply by 100 to convert to a percent. So for example, a patient's weight was 80 kilograms, so that was the before weight, and then after 2 weeks the patient weighs 84. So if we look at the change over the old weight, the amount of change is 4. They went up by 4. Over the old weight is 80. Then we multiply by 100 and convert to a percent. So we're going to multiply that by 100. So we have 4 times 100 divided by 80. Let's reduce. We can divide this by 4 and this by 4. So we'll have 1 times 10 divided by 8 divided by 4 is 2. So 10 over 2 is 5. 5%. So the change is an increase of 5%. The next one, a patient is drinking 1,200 milliliters per day and the amount was reduced by 300. So this time, changed over old times 100. So the change is given. The 300 is actually how much it changed by. It was reduced by 300. The old amount was 1,200. We're going to multiply that by 100. So we get 300 divided by 12. Both divide by 3. So 100 over 4. That divides in at 25. So 25% is the decrease. So here a patient's weight was 100 kilograms, and after dieting for a week it was 99.5 kilograms. A, what is the percent decrease in weight? So for part A, we want the change divided by the old weight times 100. So the change in weight is actually only 0.5. So it went from 100 to 0.95 divided by the old weight and times by 100. So actually this is easy, 0.5% decrease. Okay, B, the patient wants to know their weight in pounds. If 1 kilogram is equal to 2.2 pounds, how many pounds is 99.5 kilograms? So we're saying 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. And how much is 99.5 kilograms is X pounds. So if we set up the equation as a fraction, 99.5 for X, and we cross multiply, equals 99.5 times 2.2. Okay, so let's write out this multiplication. Two times 5. You can do the multiplication any way you want. 9 is 1819, and 1819, 0, 9, 8, 11, 2. So, and we have 2 places after the decimal, so 218.9 pounds. and I've got another example to illustrate that going, if we are, this is a number of residents in a care home drop from 150 to 135, what's the percent decrease? And then we're going to do the same question, but increasing 135 to 50, and what's the percent increase? So in the first one, let's call this A. So the change times 100. So the change, 150 minus 135 is 15. So the change is 15, and it was originally 150. So 150, or 15 times 100 over 150, 15 and 15, so 10. 10% is the decrease. 15 out of 150 is a 10% decrease. Now the increase, so the same idea, the change is still 15, but the original now is 135. So 15 times 100 over 135. So 135, that divides by 5. So 2 is 10, so 27. So this is 300 over 27. Now let's get that as a decimal. So 27 into 30 is 1. 27 into 30 is 1. If we add a decimal point, 27 into 30 is 1, and this is going to keep going forever. So this is 11.11% increase. So just to illustrate that they're not the same. You can't just say that if we go from 150 to 135, that's a 10% decrease, but when your original amount is lower and it increases, it's increasing by more of a percent. Okay, so do be careful that you can't go both ways. It has to be over the old, and those were different in each case. Okay, so that's the end of that video. Thank you for watching.